understanding of the times that we live in. Hunting and gathering first-hand information, challenging definitions of sin. I travel the world looking for lovers of the ultimate beauty, but never Celine. I am a wanderlust king.
I'm just wondering if, like, Anna's good ending has her just fucking rushing asshole and killing him.
Why? Why would you say that?
She's a bad girl. Either that or I could imagine her, like, fucking pulling a Mayuri and pull out some, like paralysis shit and just stunning him.
or like, just steal his gun and pop him.
Yeah, just swipe his gun, just shoot him in the crotch with it or some shit. Now I will have a sample of your blood.
Also, I'm taking this.
I need to confiscate and scan this. Finally, free day. What should I do?
So this is the explosive inside. Which reminds me, do you know what the main ingredient in modern day gunpowder is?
Isn't it like charcoal or coal or some shit?
No, that's old black powder.
Sulfur.
No, and actually, for black powder, it's saltpeter.
Saltpeter.
But modern day weapons use smokeless powder, which involves nitroglycerin.
Nice!
Well, technically...
I am not gonna go meet with that old fart. I got a fucking date with a beauty who just killed for me. After we talked in a dirty back alley. There you are. I was wondering if you'd even show up.
I'm an honorable...
I wouldn't miss an opportunity to meet you. A glutton for punishment, huh? Not that I mind. Follow me, please. Oddly, this is the one time I'm actually happy to try out for experimentation. So what exactly is this room? Oh, this is the morgue. No. It's our testing room for research on live subjects. And what exactly do you test here?
I do not see any chains or ball gags or whips.
Damn it! Not a whip or sex toy in sight. You disappoint me! You'll see that soon enough. I intend to use this facility to its fullest potential. I see. Let's start with this one. What's that? I can get a good look at your bone structure, muscular groups, and organs with this. For the finer details, we'll need a different machine. Would you please lie down here? Of course. Before we start, can I ask about your qualifications?
You can trust me.
You can trust me. I'm a doctor. You can trust Mayuri. He's a scientist.
No! No! Ah! Oh God, no!
You can trust Kenpachi to be reasonable. He's a captain.
I'd still rather fight Kenpachi than have to undergo tests from Mayuri.
You can trust Sebastian. He's one hell of a butler. What kind of doctor? Well, Doctor of Pharmacy is the only title I currently hold, but I know how to operate this machinery. That doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
Hey, give her some credit. At least she's better than the surgeon. At least she's better than the medic in Team Fortress.
At least she made the cut this time. Such a horrible joke when you know that's how she died. She died by getting cut up.
Yeah, stop it.
You think I'd let an opportunity like this go to waste by not doing my research? I'll have you know that I'm very qualified to perform these tests. If you say so. Now please, try not to move too much while this is running. How long will that be? Good question. I suppose we'll see soon enough! And what do we do now? Just wait till it's over? What do you want me to do? Dance for you so you don't get bored?
What does a dragon?
What does a dancing dragon look like anyway? Is that your scientific curiosity shining through? I can approve of that. You didn't answer my question. Well, I'm not going to show you. If you're that curious, you might find the answer in the seedier parts of town.
Well,
Your town has seedy parts? Oh, there's a lot you haven't seen yet.
Oh my... Wait, that's not the kind of dancing I was referring to.
I was talking about maybe a bedroom waltz, not a fucking dirty dancing. Woo.
Oh great, the 80s. Again.
As Endo once sang, with clean sheets and a dirty mind, we both need somewhere to pass the time. You know, when I heard that something happened at the facility, I thought it might have been you. It's quite something, isn't it? You know, if I stayed as late as I used to, it might have been me instead of Damien. And it's only because you told me not to stay late so often that I wasn't there that night. Still, somebody died. I'm not crying over that bastard! Alright, you can move again. Does that mean I'm done? That's a good one. We're just getting started. What about the results? Don't hold your breath. It'll be processing for some time and the resulting data will be so vast that I'll probably end up studying it for days. Let's collect some samples now. Where should I start? Wherever you like. And you can have whatever you like. Man.
You can't see me, but I'm raising my eyebrows suggestively.
We know you would start at the dick. Show me your claws. That would be fingernails in my case. I suppose you're right. It would still be insulting to call those little things of yours claws. They'd probably break off before you could even make use of them in any practical way. Just one more way nature gave us the short end of the stick. So which part would be fine for me to cut off? Take a piece from the white part. The rest you see is attached to the finger. Hold still then. Don't cut off too much. Don't worry, I only need enough to put it under a microscope. There, was that so bad? Do you want me to put a bandage on your little boo-boo? I'll show you a boo-boo! No.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna do to a dragon? I mean, it's not like you have a gun or a knife.
I don't know what to say to this. I'm worried that that answer might result in me, like, fucking punching her or some shit. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. You better behave. I'm doing you a favor. No, you aren't. You're only giving me what you owe.
That wasn't...
Fine. I'll pick the other fucking option.
Good!
Whatever.
Oh god.
Oh, I guess with the right training, I can make something out of you after all. And what now? Now it'll go right under the microscope. Got up and sat down at a table intently. Anna stared at a device while messing around with the nail clipping. Let's see. Putting your fingernail under a microscope is something we used to do in middle school. Quiet, please. There's a scientist at work here.
In our case, it was hair.
Okay. The structure looks a lot like keratin.
Just because it is.
Because it is.
I could have told you.
Well, it's not much of a surprise, really. Keratin is a substance that forms claws on us dragons and most of the animals here. And at least as far as mammals, reptiles, and birds are concerned. So why would you retain the structure but not do anything useful with it? Beyond me. It gets better. They grow continuously, so they need to be cut regularly. What happens if you don't cut them? They just keep growing. How much can they keep growing? Pretty much indefinitely. Do they get thicker at least? Or what else happens when they grow? They just get longer. What a hassle.
Well, actually, have you ever seen a picture of that lady that's got like...
Yeah, they're like fucking curled and shit.
And they do look fairly thick and... nasty.
Could you imagine trying to pluck fries out of a McDonald's fry container with that?
Well,
You'd be holding like way down here and just...
well, she must be pretty good at the claw game. She has to do it every time she wants to pick something up.
Imagine her trying to change the channel on TV! Like, could you imagine that shit? So how long are you planning on keeping me here? Getting impatient already? I'm just saying, our date didn't take all that long. You mentioned you already have days worth of data from that machine. Well, we never specified any terms. I sat at our date until it was officially over. This will certainly go by much quicker if you can show a little patience.
Says the Queen of Complaining. We have to save.
I don't complain. I just point out errors. Besides, I'd be Empress, not just a queen.
Ah, you sassy bitch.
By the way, how do you feel about needles? Please no. Go ahead, poke me if you need to.
Oh god, that sounds dirty.
I see, I'll make the most of it then.
Oh, of course you would enjoy it.
You'll need to remove some layers for the next part. What are you gonna do?
My.
These are some electrodes, and I'll also measure your brain activity with one of those helmets. Alright. There you go. What is it now? This is kind of embarrassing. I'm just gonna continue just abusing save states for this.
What, you're not used to...
Why?
What, you're
Well,
not
we
used
usually don't take off this much in front of others. Not even for doctors? Oh, we do, but that doesn't make it any less embarrassing. I don't understand. I mean, I get why you would put something on if it's cold considering your lack of fur, but you have this compulsion to always have some layers on is a bit strange. It's just social norm where I come from. As you can probably tell, we don't have a problem showing what we were born with.
Nudists!
Let it all hang out!
God, that would be so awkward.
This will also take a while.
That would
I
be
want
so
I want to have a good reference and see how your rates change. Your head shape is a little different than ours, but I think this one should do the trick.
It should be easier to put something on our heads.
Perfect. Just as if it was made for you. I'm not so sure of that. By the way, how can you even be sure that your machinery will have no adverse effects on me? I suppose I can't. That's mildly unsettling.
Not as unsettling as...
Your physiology is similar enough to ours that there shouldn't be any problems. I see. Now I'm gonna ask you a few questions. What is this, a polygraph test? No, this is something completely different. I'm also measuring your brain activity here. Besides, I don't really care about the truthfulness of your answer. Rather, this is to establish your natural highs and lows of the values I'm measuring. Go ahead then. Let's start with the easy ones. Let's just say no to the following 3 questions. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Understood?
No.
No. I set myself up for this one, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
The questions start now. Are you human?
No.
No. I see. Is your favorite color green? Stop taking all the questions I had to fucking answer already! No. Interesting. Have you been convicted of any crime? No. I see. Now we'll get to the real part. You can answer the following questions however you like. Got it. Did it make you uneasy when you had to answer all 3 questions negatively? Yes! I see, interesting. Have you taken a liking to anyone here since you arrived? Yes! I see. Did you have any ulterior motives when you came to our world? Or is it as simple as we were led to believe?
There are no ulterior motives.
There are no ulterior motives. I see. That's all for this test. You can take off the helmet. I'll take care of the electrodes. This kind of seemed like an interrogation. I wanted to keep it simple by asking questions that could get a reaction. I see. It's kind of a shame because, in the end, a lack of additional subjects for this test means those results might not be very useful to us. We'd probably need a few more humans. And why do them in the first place?
For the rib, for the
The data is
research.
still useful, just not as useful as it could be. And besides, I'd tell you I'd make the most of this room. Well, what's next? I'm not sure yet. Do I want to get close enough to examine mucosa
and
orifices?
Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness.
There's only one person in the room who can answer that question.
You do know what mucosa are, right?
I guess so. I'm gonna try and see what the other answers would be. Yes. Is that what you're into? Good to know.
Let's go back and... Cause that's...
Probably not. You might be right. We quarantine resident procedure.
I liked the first answer we gave best.
Yeah. Yeah, the first answer seemed to me... I guess so. We quarantined Reza when he initially arrived here, but skipped the procedure with you after examining Reza. We didn't think humans by themselves posed any danger. Nevertheless, who knows what kind of illness and bacteria you might be housing as an alternate host. I'm not asking that risk. I'm not taking that risk without a full protective suit. Does that mean your procedures are going to get a lot more invasive? No, I'm not in the mood to put the suit on and sterilize the whole room. To be fair, I haven't heard of anyone I've been in contact with getting any strange diseases thus far. Sure, but then I'd have to ask you if any of those actually got close enough to you. As in, intimately close.
No orifice.
No orifice extermination. Examination. Exterminations!
Orifice extermination.
Examination.
What are you gonna do? Just take a giant eraser to your asshole?
For the next part, we'll actually have to go outside. That sounds like fun. Depends. Here, strap this on your arm. What's this? A handheld monitor. I want to measure how you perform during exercise.
Oh great. And now
Yes, ma'am!
and now she's gonna be disappointed at how shitty humans are at exercise.
That's a good little human.
Okay,
Let's
so-
go then, shall we?
I see you're starting to understand how she works. She's a little bit. She's a little bit.
She likes to be the bit of the dom.
Yes.
Sure thing.
Like I said, she's kinky.
And now? One lap around the block. I'll be waiting for you here. You can go as fast or slow as you want, but try not to stop until you're back here. I'll be monitoring you, so I'll know if you try to do anything fishy.
Run that bitch. Piece of cake.
No need to point out the obvious. You wouldn't believe the kinds of people I have to deal with sometimes. I could say the same thing. Is that so? Anyway, you can start whenever. The monitor should take care of the rest. Trying for a consistent speed, I started with a light jog. Soon I was outside the gate and around the corner when I met an unexpected surprise. Hey, Furea! Hey, Remy, long time no see. Indeed, just enjoying the fresh air, I see. Yeah. You know, if you ever want to come by and visit the library, or need to know anything, feel free to ask me. I will, thanks. My pleasure. Afterwards,
You make him sound old. I don't think he's that old.
No, I tried to make him sound like that British type of bachelor type person.
You can't do that voice.
I'm not good at doing it, but that's how I picture him. I picture him as being like this super intelligent, calm, overly composed person. Afterwards, I finished my lap around the block, having arrived only a few minutes after I had started. I suppose it was too much to ask for a lap without any breaks. Maybe I shouldn't have expected you to be as fit as we are. I got distracted on the way. How so? Did you stop and smell some flowers? I met Remy. Remy? Oh, I wouldn't mind if that bastard kicked the bucket too.
What do you have against him?
What do
Oh,
you...
wait. Don't we know
Yeah, we do know.
that he's a douchebag?
How can you say that? No, what do you have against him? He's a self-righteous do-gooder who can't help but stick his nose where it doesn't belong. I don't care what he does as long as he doesn't mess with me, but he does mess with me, so I do care. Anyways, I've got your data, so we can head back inside if you're not too exhausted to walk. Of course.
You would be.
Shh!
No.
Looking at your data, it's kind of hard to evaluate without having any reference points. How much exercise do you usually get?
You have to answer this truthfully. Oh, you pussy!
None at all. I'm gonna definitely go. A lot. I see. You sure get to ask me a lot of questions here. All just part of the tests. Though, I think those who were all the tests I need to run on you for today. Does that mean we're done here? Oh, some of the data from the scanning machine has been processed. We can look at some pretty pictures of you. Why don't you print them out and have them framed? I'd rather be looking at some pretty pictures of you instead.
I like that answer.
That's the best you can come up with, seriously? Oh right, I totally forgot that you are a mammal. An counterintelligent mammal of all things. Well, reasonably intelligent at the very least. Why is that so surprising? You already have your myths about humans. Myths are myths. Having you here in the flesh is an entirely different thing. It's not like I could use our myths to get a scan like this one. It just seems funny to me. Do you nurse your young from your teats as well? We do. Allow me to study your muscle groups for a bit. Do you want me to take my clothes off again? I meant the pictures. Oh, I see. You can stay for a bit longer in case I have any questions. Okay. While I continued sitting on the bed, she went up to her table and started looking at scans of muscle groups. As we talked, her eyes never left the screen. Some of these structures are very similar to those found in Damien's kind. I'm not surprised, his stature is similar enough. True, true. Now shut up and let me concentrate. Does that approach ever work? What are you talking about? You being that rude to everyone. Sorry. You apologize. That's a new one. I don't want to make any excuses, but with a high-pressure job like mine, I don't really get to go out and socialize much. Add some deteriorating circumstances to that, and you get my life. Don't you have any friends? Not really. If you keep skipping grades like I did, and we're on the fast track in university, you wouldn't really have much time to make or keep any friends either. I think the last time I had a real friend was more than a decade ago. What happened to that friend? Well...
What about
We went to the same class for a while. I ended up skipping a grade after that year. She found new friends. I didn't. We still met, but those visits became less and less frequent as time went on. I was around 10 years old when her parents prompted me to visit her. She was in the hospital. Apparently had been for some time already. I didn't know because I hadn't seen her in quite a while at that point. She had contracted some sort of degenerative disease that caused her to gradually lose control of her muscles. Her case was particularly bad. She was already paralyzed from the neck down by the time I went to visit her. When I entered her room, I couldn't even pretend to be her friend. Lying in bed was just a crude image of her former self. It was as if she was already dead. Couldn't bear to see her like that. It scared me. I didn't stay long. Seeing her like that was just... I just told myself I never wanted to end up like her, dying slowly, painfully, and alone. That was the last time I saw her. She died a few weeks later. And that's why you became a scientist? Not really. I became a scientist because that's apparently what I'm good at. Doesn't make my work any less important, though. Just from what we did here today, we might make a few breakthroughs in several areas. Really? You are a completely different yet stable evolutionary line. There are some things that are similar in our bodies and others that are completely different. Anything that is different and works can tell us something about new biology. All the various species have their own challenges and diseases. It'll come in handy somewhere for sure. And you're doing all that because of your pure, unselfish heart. Not really, but if I do the brunt of the work, then I deserve to have my name on it. I guess so. Well, I think that's it for today. You can go if you like. Sure, thanks for having me. My pleasure. We could get together if you want to. Is there even anything left for you to test? Well, I have plenty of data for a while, so I guess we'd have to find something else for us to do. I see. Well, I'll leave you to your work then.
That's well, that might be fun.
Well, boys and girls, that's where we're going to cut it off right here. We were being called to head downstairs by my family. In the next episode, we're going to see pretty much the fruits of our labor and get closer to the end with Anna. She seems to be a pretty kinky woman. I like that. See you guys in the next episode.